So weekly roundup. So what happened from Sunday to today? Those all I am covering in this particular session of 50 minutes. The first thing is NASSCOM. NASSCOM appointed Sindhu Gangadharan as the chairperson. NASSCOM is the body for information communication technology. The complete association for IT companies name is called as NASSCOM. So this example you have to use the growth of women. So women was not allowed into STEM courses, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. But here Sindhu Gangadharan had been a role model or an example where she became the chairperson of NASSCOM. Means not only a CEO of one particular IT company, she became the chairperson of complete IT companies in India. So very good achievement for a woman as a role model, as an example. That name is called as Sindhu Gangadharan. So Sindhu Gangadharan on August 27, 2024, Sindhu Gangadharan was appointed as a National Association of Software and Service Companies. National Association for Software and Service Companies. COM means companies. So all the software service companies is under one particular guild or one particular association. That association is called as NASSCOM. Very political body it is. So much influence, so much politics will be there. In that organization, she became a chairperson. Means compulsory she is skilled. So woman is, so she is not only becoming the chairperson of an IT company, she is not like Indranui or like an Axis Bank chairman like Shika Sharma or like an ICICI Bank like Chanda Kauchar. So something big she became. That is a NASSCOM company, which is a very good example in writing answer. Significance of our gender diversity. We can see the gender diversity, leadership during transformation. So she is an example of transformation. Up to now, the leadership of NASSCOM was being limited only for males, but now the NASSCOM leadership had become diverse. Gender diversity we can see, and we can see as an example of becoming a lady or a female as a leader of such organization. Hence, it is a very good example. Next, we know that Olympics, whenever there is an Olympics, compulsory in that year mains question will be there. I am expecting 2024 mains, there will be one question on Olympics. If not Olympics, Paralympic. If not Olympics, Paralympics. So continue to it, 2025 also we can expect a question, at least Olympics, if not compulsory, Paralympics. So what is Paralympics? Every 4 years there will be a Olympics conducted. For that Olympics, of eventually after completion of Olympics, parallelly Paralympics will be conducted for who are Divyangs. For whom? For Divyangs. For physically disabled, all the disabled, for mentally disabled also there is one particular category. In that way, the Paralympics will be conducted. So the 2024 Paralympics games began on August 28, 2024 after the conclusion of Olympics. Immediately after the conclusion of Olympics, Paralympics will be created in France, marking the first time the French capital has hosted. For the first time, the French capital Paris hosted such games. For the first time, Paris hosted not Olympics, Paralympics. Paralympics for the first time. The games are taking place across various venues with over 4,400 Paralympics athletes from around the world competing 22 sports. From this we can come to conclusion that the sports sector is becoming more inclusive, more innovative, more creative, and mainly all the sections of people are also allowed into sports sector. So this is which we have to remember. Some significances you have to remember. Are expected to set new benchmarks in terms of participation. If for the first time Paralympics were being conducted in Paris, 4,400 athletes and 180 countries are participating in that. The Indian contingent consists of around 70 athletes, is expected to make a strong show, particularly in sports like athletics, shootings and badminton. Not in Olympics, but in Paralympics. India's role. The country's performance in 2024 games is likely to inspire more participation. What we have to remember in this? There is one particular program to compulsory make participation of the athletics, not only participation of athletics, to make the athletics to win the Olympics medal. That particular program name is called as Target Olympic Podium Scheme, TOPS. Target Olympic Podium Scheme. Target Olympic Podium Scheme is one scheme whereby it is exclusively funding the athletes who are most potential to get medals. They are being funded by the government of India so that they will be bringing Olympic medals. That particular scheme is called as Target Olympics podium scheme. In this, not only normal Olympians are there, Paralympians also there. Not only Olympians, but also Paralympians, means who are physically handicapped, they are also being funded by the government. Under which program? TOPS, prelims point of view. TOPS is the program which is mainly associated with what? Targeted Olympic podium scheme, which is mainly targeting the athletics in order to benefit them or in order to fund them to get a compulsory Olympics medal. That scheme is called as TOPS. National Sports Day celebrations 2024. National Sports Celebrations 2024 is mainly August 29th will be celebrated as National Sports Day. Sir, these days we have to remember for UPSC, but this is Olympic year. That is the reason it is important. It is the Olympic year. That is the reason we have to remember. In the sports sector, we are having few categories of prizes. Those categories are Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna, Arjuna Award, Dronacharya Award and Dhyan Chand Award. From the given below, how many awards will be given in sports sector in India? 4 awards will be given in sports sector. Number 1, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, Arjuna Award, Dronacharya Award, Normal Dhyan Chand Awards. Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, highest award. Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, Arjuna Award, Dronacharya Award, just simply Dhyan Chand Awards. In this way, 4 awards will be provided in India, like how Ashoka Chakra, Paramveer Chakra, more. Anything is there? Ashok Chakra, Paramveer Chakra, more. Kirti Chakra. How the awards will be given in defense sector in the war time, similarly awards will be given in sports sector. How many such awards are there from India? 4 awards are there. One is Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, Arjuna Award, Dronacharya Award and so India celebrated National Sports Day on August 29th with a series of events, campaigns and initiatives to promote physical fitness among the legacy of Major Dhyan Chand, the legendary hockey player whose birthday is commemorated on this day. So why we are celebrating on August 29th? We are celebrating on August 29th just to remember Dhyan Chand. The Dhyan Chand is the first person who had made India proud in hockey. On his birthday, we are celebrating which day? National Sports Day. That is August 29th. Major Dhyan Chand legacy is one of the famous person who is responsible for bringing Olympic medals in hockey game. These are the awards which are given in this particular game. So in sports, what are all the awards are given? Number 1, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award, Arjuna, Dronacharya and Khel Ratna Award. TOPS scheme is for what? Targeted Olympics podium scheme. Next, detailed analysis of the Indian government's new clean energy policy. This is an important exam point of view. New clean energy policy. New clean energy policy 2024. A new policy was being envisaged. A new policy came into the existence. What is that policy? New clean energy policy. You know, clean energy means what? Zero carbon emission, renewable energy, zero carbon. Renewable energy itself is called as clean energy. What are the examples of renewable energy? Solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, biofuels. This all comes hydrogen power. This all comes under clean energy. For that clean energy, Government of India came up with an exclusive policy in 2024 August. That policy name is called as what? National Clean Energy Policy. Any question on renewable energy, any question on carbon emissions, any question on environment conservation, any question on environment protection, we can write this current affair. What is the current affair? National Clean Energy Policy. Ambitious new clean energy policy, increasing the share of renewable energy. The key goal of this particular policy is to ensure 50% of India's energy needs are met through renewable sources by 2030. Ante by 2030, our energy needs, our complete energy needs, in that complete energy needs, 50% should be contributed from whom? Renewable energy. As of now, how much is contributed from renewable energy? Someone? As of now, how much we are contributing? We are means renewable energy is contributing for complete energy basket. First target. How much? 50% in renewable energy by 2030. 50% of renewable energy by 2030. First policy. What is policy? Policy is nothing but like our plans. This month we will complete this. This month we will complete this. Daily I will study for 23 hours. Only 1 hour I will sleep. Those are called as policies. Like that, what we plan is called as policy. 1 o'clock I will sleep and 2 o'clock I will get up, and still I will study up to night 1 o'clock. 1 hour I will sleep. That is called as policies. What are the targets? By the name called as policy. Government specific will be their policy. It is, means if a new government come, again they will come up with new policy. Means new government means new party change. BJP is there. If Congress come, then they will change all the policies. But if next time again the BJP is there, then the same policy will be continued like that it is. What is the target? 50% renewable energy by 2030. This target, a significant increase from current levels, but the renewable accounts for how much it is? 25 to 30%. Today how much it is? 25% to 30% is renewable energy. We are planning to double it. How much? 50%. By which year? 2030. 6 years. Net zero emissions by 2070. Net zero emissions by 2070. By 2070, the emissions should be how much? Zero. Net zero emissions. Decentralized renewable energy means on every rooftop, in every house there will be a solar panel, and that solar panel will provide electricity to that house. That is called as decentralized renewable energy. అంటే ప్రతి డౌన్ ద లైన్లో కూడా రెన్యూవబుల్ ఎనర్జీ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్ చేయాలి. దాని పేరేంటి? డిసెంట్రలైజ్డ్ రెన్యూవబుల్ ఎనర్జీ ప్లాన్. ఎనర్జీ స్టోరేజ్ solutions. Like what? We don't have proper energy storage solutions. Like if electricity is produced from solar panels, more electricity is produced, that energy should be stored, no? So we should have proper batteries. That battery maintenance is also very important. That battery maintenance also we should have the policy. That policy, part of it is energy storage solutions. Large green hydrogen production. So 5 key objectives are there in this particular policy. Number 1, 50% renewable energy by 2030, net zero emissions by 2070, decentralized renewable energy. 4th, energy storage solutions. 5th, 5 points are there. Net zero emissions means emissions will be there. Understand, net zero, not gross zero. Net zero means we are going to release some or the other way, carbon will be released. But how much carbon is released, that much forest will be there. So this forest will eat that carbon. So when we calculate, minus plus will become how much? Zero. That is called as net zero emissions. Conference of Parties 26. We had recently concluded Conference of Parties 26. In environment topic, we will be having Conference of Parties. All countries will come together under one particular convention called as United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. ఆ కన్వెన్షన్ కింద అందరము లాస్ట్ 26 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి వస్తున్నాం అన్నమాట. 1992లో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. అలా ఈవెన్చువల్గా వీఆర్ కండక్టింగ్ మీటింగ్స్ అండ్ వీఆర్ డిక్లరింగ్ that we are going to reduce carbon emissions and we are going to depend more on renewable energy. So similarly, Conference of Parties 26 was been happened recently. In which country? Recently. Conference of Parties 26. Recently, where it happened? You have to read more newspaper. So every year there will be a Conference of Parties. All countries will come together and they will plan how to reduce carbon emissions and how to produce more renewable energy. Like that, Conference of Parties 26 was being held very recently in Glasgow, Scotland, England. So there they made a declaration that every country should come up with policy in order to depend more on renewable energy and to reduce what? Carbon emissions. So in order to satisfy that, in order to follow the declaration of Conference of Parties 26 which happened, we came with what? National Clean Energy Policy. National Clean Energy Policy 2024. So 5 objectives are there. Implementation, financial incentives should be provided who are producing more energy, who are producing more electricity by renewable energy. There should be proper regulatory reforms. Public-private partnership, both should produce it, not only public. Research and development should happen. capacity building and workforce development. If these all things are happened, then compulsory we can reach the targets under which policy? Got it? So what are the 5 objectives under National Clean Energy Policy? If you remember this 5 also, it is very successful. Number 1, 50% of renewable energy by 2030, 2070 zero net zero carbon emissions. Third, decentralized renewable energy manufacturing. Next, storage capacity, increasing storage capacity. Last, green hydrogen. Indian Air Force acquires. We are buying new helicopters. Last week we concluded that we are going to buy new helicopters. This one, Apache helicopters from United States of America. Apache helicopters. Indian Air Force has significantly enhanced its air combat capabilities with induction of additional AH-64E Apache longbow attack helicopters acquired from United States are designed to provide advanced attack capabilities, bolster India's defense preparedness and ensure air superiority in various operational scenarios. You know, India is recognized by America as a superpower. We are economically growing, we are defense also we are growing. Economically we are 5th largest economy now. And we are believing that within 2027 we are going to cross Germany and Japan and going to become 3rd largest economy. And very soon we are going to reach 5 trillion economy also. Now we are 4.2 trillion economy. Very soon we are going to reach 5 trillion economy. Not only in economy point of view, in defense point of view also we are superpower competing with China. In order to make more super powerful, such type of arms and ammunition or such type of procurement of defense is very, very required. But one sad thing, the sad thing is, in spite of buying ready-made, we can manufacture indigenously. Why? Because we have a robust defense research development organization. Why we are still buying from foreign countries? Because of which we are losing our foreign reserves. Rather, we should be in a position to export, not to be in a position to import. This is import or export? But good thing is that, yes, we are Apache helicopter. This is highly advanced attack helicopter developed by Boeing. Variant also Apache longbow features several upgrades over previous models. So including enhanced avionics, radar systems, improved weaponry. So what we are going to buy from United States of America? Apache longbow. Apache longbow helicopter in order to modernize our defense. Yes, it is advanced avionics, enhanced weaponry, improved sensors and systems, networking capabilities. Advanced avionics. Avionics means the machines which will be there in front of pilot are called as avionics. Aerodynamics. The wings, the technology in the wings is called as aerodynamics. Machines. The machines which are there in aeroplanes or helicopters are called as propulsions. Those are called as propulsions. Advanced avionics, enhanced weaponry, improved sensors and systems, networking capabilities. Shanshan. Recently, Typhoon Shanshan was being noticed in which country? Japan. Shamshan gaadu. Shamshan ante graveyard. Shanshan. Which country? Japan. A very big typhoon came and destroyed almost all regions of Japan. Which country? Japan. On August 29th, Typhoon Shanshan made landfall in Japan, impacting southern regions with significant force. This has been impacted Japan a lot. Prelims point of view, what is important? In match the following we can expect. Typhoon Shanshan impacted which country? Japan. India-Saudi Arabia Energy Cooperation. We had an energy cooperation agreement with Japan. Saudi Arabia. India and Saudi Arabia, we had a agreement. Saudi Arabia and India. Which agreement? Energy cooperation agreement. What is this? In this one concept is there, which is knowledge point of view important. What is that? On August 25th, India and Saudi Arabia held a significant bilateral meeting to advance their energy cooperation. The discussion focused on strengthening partnership in renewable energy and strategic petroleum reserve. Two things. Number one, renewable energy. Second one is what? Strategic petroleum reserves. I will tell you what is this. Listen. Renewable energy is that we are also focusing on more renewable energy. Saudi Arabia is also focusing on more renewable energy. But however, Saudi Arabia is famous for its oil. So what India learned in 1990, 1989, 1991, when Iraq invaded Kuwait, when the Gulf War happened, the oil imports from Gulf countries completely stopped. We don't have oil for nearly 2 months. The complete trucks stopped, economy stopped, we became almost bankrupt. Like that the situation was there in 1991. Why? Because we don't have oil. Our bad luck is India doesn't have oil reserves. The good luck of Gulf countries is they have oil. They are rich only because of oil. If that oil is there in present in India, then we would be super rich. So what lessons we learned? మనం ఏం నేర్చుకున్నామనంటే ఓహో ఇలాంటి ఎమర్జెన్సీ సిచ్యువేషన్ వస్తే ఆయిల్ 1991లో అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి మనం చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫేస్ చేశాము. రేపు పొద్దున మళ్ళీ అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ రావచ్చు. సో ఎప్పటికైనా మన దగ్గర ఆయిల్ లేదు కాబట్టి మనం పరాయి కంట్రీల మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉన్నాము. వీఆర్ డిపెండ్ అపాన్ ఫారెన్ కంట్రీస్. దెన్ దట్ మీన్స్ వీఆర్ వల్నరబుల్. ఎప్పుడైనా మనం వేరే వాళ్ళ మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యామంటే వల్నరబులా, వీఆర్ సెక్యూరా? వీఆర్ వల్నరబుల్. So what India? But we cannot make natural resource. Natural resource is completely luck. We cannot create natural resource, no? We cannot create oil. It should be there. If it is not there, bad luck, that's it. But what we did, we created strategic petroleum reserves. Underground lo chala pedda reserves, tanks మనం ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసామన్నమాట. చాలా పెద్ద అమౌంట్లతో. In Jamnagar, in Assam, very big strategic reserves we had prepared, and now we are importing and we are filling that strategic reserves. We are importing and we are filling that strategic tanks, big tanks, lakhs of tons, lakhs crores of tons, so that in any point of time oil completes, or in any point of time we don't get oil, we can use oil from strategic petroleum reserve. So we had an agreement with Saudi Arabia. We want more oil from you. Why? Because we want to pump your oil into our strategic petroleum reserve. Then they accepted it. Yes, no problem. You can fill up your strategic petroleum reserve so that it is good only. At one point of time when you don't get the oil, you can use the oil. And savings bank account లాగానన్నమాట, లేకపోతే ఒక డిపాజిట్ లాగానన్నమాట. ఎప్పుడైతే మన డబ్బులు అయిపోతుందో మనకు డిపాజిట్ చేసి పెట్టుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, 1 lakh 2 lakh డిపాజిట్ పెట్టుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, అది మనం విడగొట్టేస్తే మన డబ్బులు మనకు వస్తాయి కదా, అది దేనికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది? ఒక సేవింగ్స్ లాగా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. దట్ పర్టికులర్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ as strategic petroleum reserve. So 2 energy cooperation agreements were being happened between India and Saudi Arabia. One is on renewable energy, second is on strategic petroleum reserves. Strategic petroleum reserve. It is not sufficient for India. We have in Assam, we have in Jamnagar, we have in high seas of Mumbai, but it is only 5%. But our demand is 100%. Current affair. New government scheme was being envisaged, Vigyan Dhara. కొత్త గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్ వచ్చిందనమాట. ఇలా కొత్తగా వచ్చినటువంటి గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ అని మీ నోట్స్లో ఉండాలి. కొత్త గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్, ఆ కొత్త గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్ పేరు ఏంటంటే విజ్ఞాన ధార. It's a new central sector scheme unifying 3 umbrella schemes of Department of Science and Technology: institutional and human capacity building, research and development, innovation, technology development and deployment. ఈ 3 కలిపి ఒకటే ఒక పేరుతో వస్తుంది. ఆ పేరేంటి? విజ్ఞాన ధార. The proposed outlay for the implementation of the unified scheme called as Vigyana Dhara. How much budget is required? 10,579 crore during the 5th financial year. 5th Finance Commission year, which starts from 2021 to 2026. సో ఈ విజ్ఞాన ధారా స్కీము ఇంతకుముందు 3 విభాగాల్లాగా ఉండేది. సో చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉండేనన్నమాట. హ్యూమన్ కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగ్, రీసెర్చ్ అండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్, ఒక్కొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్కి ఎలా డివైడ్ చేయాలి కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటే ఏం చేశారంటే ఒకటే స్కీమ్ చేశారు, ఒకటే పేరు కింద చేశారు, ఒకటే అంబ్రెల్లా స్కీమ్ చేశారు. ఆ అంబ్రెల్లా స్కీమ్ పేరు ఏంటి? విజ్ఞాన ధార. 1 is హ్యూమన్ కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగ్, నెంబర్ 2 రీసెర్చ్ అండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్, నెంబర్ 3 deployment. One umbrella scheme. That umbrella scheme is named as Vigyana Dhara. What is that? New central sector scheme. You have to understand two things. In government schemes, two types of schemes will be there. One is called a central sector scheme, other is called a central sponsored scheme. Rendu rakala schemes untayi. Okadani peremo central sector schemes we will be telling. Another name is called a central sponsored scheme. Central sector scheme means exclusively funded by central government. Then we call it as central sector scheme. Central sponsored scheme means some percentage of amount will be allocated by government of India, some amount will be allocated by the local government, local state government. That is called as, this is exclusively funded by whom? Central government. Why? Because it is sector but not sponsored. Perpetual bond. You have to remember prelims, out of 100 questions, 12 to 13 questions, minimum to minimum 10 questions will be on terms. In your, after January 1st, I will give all the terms at one place. In your Vijay Bhava program, which starts from January 1st, exclusive prelims program, all terms I will give at one place of all the current affairs which are coming in the news. The terms, last time in the class newspaper analysis, one term we discussed, predatory pricing. One more day, another term we discussed. What is that? Plug and play. More literacy and full literacy. One more I told. Galtia, one island. Where? Andaman Island. So, perpetual bond. What is perpetual bond? A new term, a new concept which is in the news. We know term deposit, we know deposit bond, we know agreement bond. Then what is this perpetual bond? A new bond. Perpetual bond. It's a type of debt security that does not have a fixed maturity date. Ante enti? It's a type of debt security. Means I took loan from you. I took loan from you. How business will run, I will tell you. How businesses will run. Some or the other businesses want loans to run. So I took loan. It is called as debt. And the company will be having lot of shareholders, partners, etc. They all will keep some amount with them. In any exigency situation, that money will be used for restructuring the company. So when I am taking loan for today's immediate requirement, I am deposit this security which is there with the bank, with the, or the security amount which is there with me, I am giving it to the bank. This amount is not mine or not company's. It's the money of all the stakeholders. This money I put it with bank. Then I took loan. వాళ్ళ భరోసా ఏంటి? వాళ్ళ డబ్బులు మన దగ్గర ఉన్నాయి కదా, మళ్ళీ అందులో నుంచే లోన్ ఇస్తున్నాం కదా అని చెప్పేసి దే గివ్ ద లోన్. నౌ హౌ ఇట్ విల్ బి దేర్? ఫిక్స్డ్ టైమ్ విల్ బి దేర్. I will keep your money with me till 5 years or 1 year. By the time you have to pay me the loan. Perpetual bond means the amount which I kept with the bank is not going to stop by the dead end. అంటే 1 year బాండ్ తీసుకున్నప్పటికి కూడా 1 year దాటిపోయిన తర్వాత కూడా దాని మీద ఇంట్రెస్ట్ జనరేట్ అవుతూనే ఉంటుంది. జనరల్గా ఎలా ఉండే, బాబు నువ్వు 1 year టైం పెట్టుకున్నావు, నేను 1 year వరకే నీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇస్తాను, ఆ పైన నా దగ్గర పెట్టుకుంటే ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదుగా, నేను ఏం చేయ, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇవ్వ. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, నేను బలవంతంగా లోన్ కట్టాల్సిన అవసరం వస్తుంది. ఎందుకనంటే నా డబ్బులు వాళ్ళ దగ్గర ఉన్నా కూడా నాకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రావట్లేదు కదా. అర్థమైందా? ఇప్పుడు నేనేమంటున్నాను, మీరు నేను లోన్ తీసుకున్నాను, నా దగ్గర స్ట్రాటజిక్ మనీ ఏదైతే ఉందో, నేను స్ట్రాటజిక్ అమౌంట్ ఐ గేవ్ ఇట్ టు యూ. ఆన్ దట్ interest is getting generated. Earlier only up to 1 year limited time period, but now beyond the time period also interest is generated. So I will be motivated to take more loan or less loan? More loan. When I motivated to take more loan means I will pump in my business or not? I will pump in my business. So my business will grow. So in order to promote the business, motivate the business, such type of bonds will be perpetual bond. Unlike traditional bonds that have a set date when the principal amount is repaid, perpetual bonds continue to pay interest. ఆ 1 year అయిపోయినా తీసుకో బాబు, నీ డబ్బులు తొందరగా తీసుకో, యాజ్ సూన్ యాజ్ తీసుకో, లేకపోతే ఒక్కరోజు ఎక్కువ ఉన్నా కూడా నేను ఏం చేయాలి, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ పే చేయాలి. అప్పుడు నేను ఈ డబ్బులు తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అప్పు అడుగుతాను కదా, తొందరగా అప్పు కట్టేసేయండి, మీ డబ్బులు మీరు తీసుకొని వెళ్ళండి, ఒక్కొక్క రోజు ఉన్నా కూడా నేను ఇంట్రెస్ట్ కట్టాల్సిన పరిస్థితి వస్తుంది అన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు, ఇక మళ్ళీ ఏదో విధంగా ఎక్కడో ఎక్కువ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి డబ్బులు తెచ్చి వీళ్ళ లోన్ కట్టేసుకొని వీళ్ళ డబ్బులు వీళ్ళు తీసేసుకుంటారు. ఎలాగూ నాకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రావట్లేదు, లేకపోతే వాళ్ళు ఏమంటారు, మరి నా దగ్గరనే ఉంచుకుంటాను, మరి నేనైతే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇవ్వను. నౌ వాట్ దే ఆర్ టెలింగ్, లెట్ ద మనీ బీ విత్ మీ, ఐ విల్ నాట్ బీ లైక్ ట్రెడిషనల్ బాండ్, ఐ విల్ పే యూ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. సో దెన్ ఐ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఫియర్? No. Why? Because how many days is there with them, interest is getting generated. That particular bond is called as perpetual bond. Senkaku Islands is every time is in the news. What is this Senkaku Islands? Senkaku Islands. This side Japan, this side China, this side Taiwan. Taiwan, China, Japan. This China, this complete part is South China Sea. ఇక్కడ ఏ ఐలాండ్ ఉన్నా కూడా నాదే అంటుంది అనమాట చైనా. ఇక్కడ దాకా ఈ జపాన్ ఇది ఓన్లీ ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడైతే మీకు ల్యాండ్ ఉందో అది మాత్రమే మీది. ల్యాండ్ అవతల సముద్రం ఎక్కడ దాకా కనబడుతుందో అదంతా మాదే. వన్ చైనా పాలసీ. Japan is telling that from history the island belongs to us. But China is telling that we had a policy called as One China policy. The complete South China Sea owner is I am. So this is a contentious island. What are all the islands are there? The Senkaku Islands is a issue of contention between China and Japan. The China Coast Guard ship have been in waters around Japanese controlled islands for a record of 158 consecutive days. It is also known as Dayu in Chinese and Dayotai in Taiwan. They are in East China Sea. The Senkaku Islands have long been a contentious issue between Japan and China, with both nations asserting historical claims over the uninhabited rocky chain of islands. So this is a contention issue between which countries? China and Senkaku Islands. Participatory notes is in the news. Participatory notes ante enti? Simple. I am a foreigner. You have a company called as Infosys. I came to know that your Infosys company is growing. So now you kept your Infosys company in stock exchange. That means if I pay some amount to you, I will become owner up to 1% or 2% if I pay 100 crore. So 100 crore will go into the Infosys bank account and I will get 1% or 2% share in Infosys. For that, what I have to do? I have to register with SEBI. I have to follow a lot of bureaucratic papers. They have to scrutinize me. Then only I can buy. Very complex procedure. Everyone cannot buy through stock exchange. Every company want investment. But if they want investment through stock exchange manner, some foreign players will not have that much bureaucratic papers. They have money. They want to invest. But they are unable to invest. Why? Because they cannot come through SEBI. Why? Because they don't have papers. ఏదో ఒక పేపర్ మిస్ అయిపోతుంది. ఏదో కండిషన్ పెడతారు వాళ్ళు. ఆ కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అవ్వరు. ఒక కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయినా కూడా సెబీ పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వదు స్టాక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ నుంచి కొనడానికి. బట్ దే ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ మనీ టు బై. ద కంపెనీస్ విల్ ఫ్లరిష్ ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈస్ మోర్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్. సో అలాంటి ఫారెన్ ప్లేయర్స్ని హెల్ప్ చేయడానికి ఓ కొత్త కాన్సెప్ట్ వచ్చింది. ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ నేమ్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ అస్ పార్టిసిపేటరీ నోట్, విచ్ డజంట్ నీడ్ టు ఫ్లో త్రూ సెబీ, which doesn't need to flow through stock exchange. Up to some extent, there will be a limit. Up to some limit, directly a foreign person can come and buy a share. Like that, bypassing the SEBI, bypassing the stock exchange and buying the shares. That particular process is called as participatory notes. Two things will happen. Number one, the domestic company will get investment. Number two, the foreign player will be buying the stock. Number three, there is no need to have the bureaucratic papers. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఒక పెన్షన్ తెచ్చుకోవాలంటే అప్పుడప్పుడు ఆధార్ కార్డు ఉండదు కొంతమంది దగ్గర. ఆధార్ కార్డు ఉన్న ఆధార్ కార్డులో ఫోటో ఉన్న ఆధార్ కార్డులో నేమ్ మ్యాచ్ అవ్వదు. మన ఫోటోనే ఆధార్ కార్డులో మ్యాచ్ అవ్వదు. సడన్గా చూస్తే అది మనమేనా అనిపిస్తుంది. కొన్నిసార్లు రిజెక్ట్ కూడా అవుతుంది. నువ్వులా వేరేలాగా ఉన్నట్టున్నాను వాళ్ళు రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి వాళ్ళని. అయ్యో నేనేనండి ఒకసారి బాగా చూడండి అని అన్నప్పుడు సరే ఒక ఇవన్నీ ఇస్తే మరి నేను యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తాను అన్నాడు. ఇఫ్ దట్ ఈస్ ద కేస్, సో దిస్ ఈస్ పార్టిసిపేటరీ. They are financial instrument issued by registered, they will come not by stock exchange, by registered foreign portfolio investment that enable foreign investors to invest in Indian stock market without the need to register directly with. These notes serve as a substitute for underlying shares of Indian companies. They are also referred as offshore derivative instruments. Offshore derivative instruments. Derivative అంటే ఏం లేదు, బాండ్లకి ఇంకో పేరు derivatives. The Securities Contracts Act 1956 was amended to recognize what? Overseas derivative instruments issued by foreign portfolio investors and Gujarat International Financial Center, gift center. This is called as participatory notes. అంటే స్టాక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ ద్వారా అలా కాకుండా ఫారెన్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్స్లో అక్కడ వాళ్ళు రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకుంటే మాత్రం వాళ్ళు ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఆ పర్టికులర్ మెకానిజం పేరు ఏంటి? పార్టిసిపేటరీ నోట్స్. ద ఓన్లీ బెనిఫిట్ ఈస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బైపాస్ సెబీ. నేషనల్ మెడికల్ రిజిస్టర్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద న్యూస్. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? There are a lot of fake doctors are coming up. RMP doctors are killing sometimes, unnecessarily giving without knowledge high dose antibiotics. Recently my mother's elder sister got suffered because of an RMP doctor. She told, I have a lot of fever, local in village, you will give very good medicine, high dose he will give. Sometimes it will reduce quickly. If you give, the fever is going off, can you give? Then he gave very high dose. It became a disaster. So now in order to control these doctors, the government of India had made one register. That register name is called as National Medical Register. Every MBBS who completed, he should register under this National Medical Register. Then they will be given with unique ID and it will be linked with Aadhaar. This register will be registered by the medical colleges, AIIMS-like institutions, government medical colleges, private medical colleges. A unique number will be provided. And that unique number should be there in front of their clinics. If we enter that number in National Medical Register portal, common mind like us also, we can see his credentials. From which college he did, how much percentage he got, he specialized in what. So that we can get what? Confidence. Oh, he is not a fake Baba, he is real Baba. He is real doctor. So that number is called as National Medical Register. All the MBBS doctors are going to be registered with under this. MBBS, who completed MBBS? Who completed MBBS? Now, to control them only. So when we are going, we will ask them, can you give your National Medical Register? Then he will tell, I am not member of National Medical Register, I am member of RMP Register, he will tell. Air to surface missile, Rudram-II. Rudram-II. DRDO successfully flight tested Rudram-II air to surface. From air it will bombard down. Air to surface missile. From Sukhoi 30 Mk1 platform of the Indian Air Force, indigenously developed, solid propelled, air launched missile system designed for air to surface operations, developed as part of Rudram series, which includes supersonic and hypersonic ground attack and anti-radiation missiles. The name Rudram translates to remover of DRDO, Rudram-II, air to surface. Rudram-I, private company. India achieved a significant milestone in space journey with the launch of first reusable hybrid rocket. Reusable hybrid rocket name called as Rudram-I. So it will go up, satellite will be placed, again it will come to the ground station like aeroplane. Then again use it like a rocket. That particular rockets are called as reusable rockets. For the first time a private company has launched it. That rocket name is called as Rudram-I. India's first reusable hybrid rocket was developed by Tamil Nadu based startup Space Zone India in collaboration with Martin Group for its innovative hybrid propulsion combining the advantages of both liquid and solid. Mainly it is first private company's hybrid reusable rocket. Rudram-I. Rudram-II, air to surface missile. Rudram-I, yes, reusable rocket. This is very important. Coalition for disaster relief infrastructure. Coalition for disaster relief infrastructure. Disaster resilient. Coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. అంటే మన దగ్గర ఉన్నటువంటి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉండాలి? డిజాస్టర్ రెసిలియంట్ ఉండాలి. డిజాస్టర్ వచ్చినా కూడా మన యొక్క ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్కి ఏమీ కాకూడదు. అలాంటి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ని ఏమంటాం మనం? డిజాస్టర్ రెసిలియంట్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. ఇప్పుడు పోల్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఓ ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ పోల్స్. ఇఫ్ ఎ స్ట్రాంగ్ విండ్ కమ్, ద పోల్ విల్ ఫాల్ డౌన్ ఆర్ నాట్? So it is very vulnerable or not? So the example I am telling you. So poles should be what? Disaster resilient. అలా ఆ కంట్రీస్లో కొన్ని కంట్రీస్ ఒక కోయలిషన్ గ్రూప్ లాగా ఫామ్ అయ్యి మన కంట్రీలో ఏదైతే ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ మనం చేసుకుంటున్నామో ఎలా ఉండాలనుకుంటున్నాం మనము? డిజాస్టర్ రెసిలియంట్. సో ఇఫ్ ఎనీ డిజాస్టర్ కమ్, నథింగ్ షుడ్ హ్యాపెన్ టు ద infrastructure. International coalition of countries, United Nations agencies, multilateral development banks, the private sector and academic institutions to promote disaster resilient infrastructure. To promote research and knowledge sharing in the fields of infrastructure risk management standards, it was launched by Indian Prime Minister at 2019 UN Climate Action Summit 2019. How many members are there? 46 countries, including 39 countries, 6 multilateral organizations and a private sector association representing over 400 companies. Who had launched it? Indian Prime Minister. What is that coalition name called as? Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Any question on disaster you have to write about it. Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. 46 are there, in that 39 are countries. These are the most important news item. Yes, today's newspaper. See, first page, 6.7% growth slid to 5-quarter low in, see, 6.7, still we are telling low, no? No country in the world is having 6.7% of growth rate. When we compare with our previous quarters, it is low. But no country in the world is having this much of growth rate. India is growing like anything. India's economy already, French, UK, we bypassed it. No country is having consistent growth rate more than 5%, only India and China. Cyclone name what? Asna. Shanshan typhoon, which country? Japan. Cyclone Asna, Gujarat. See, compulsory you have to read this editorial. A game plan for India's success as, page number 8. A game plan for India's success as 2036 Olympic host. We are planning 2036 Olympic host India. Whether they will give or not, we don't know, but we are planning. So we are planning means we should get medals also. No? For that, maths class should not be taken, drill class. See, 10th page. India yet to take a decision on Pak invite to SCO meet. I told you, at the end there will be conclusion, that only you have to read. Joint panel meeting on Waqf bill. In one class I explained you about Waqf bill. Organic farming. Page number 12. Fertilizer source of many ailments, which to? Organic farming. LGBTQIA plus couples can join joint bank account center. They can now have a joint account. 2 lesbians, 2 gays, 2 bisexuals, 2 transgenders, 2 queers can have a joint account.